Greetings. Welcome to TFT Tarot for today. Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And this is me, Oberon, with my outlook on the emotional exchanges. A 2-card reading for each sign of the Zodiac, where I give the best thing that's happening this week, the good vibration, and the not so best thing, the bad trip. Possibly you can avoid that by knowing a little bit more about it. So I read from the fabulous Final Rose Tarot. It is fabulous. Very pretty tones of red and gold, pink. And it's a little bit of a novelty deck, but the images are inspiring and I like to use them for this reading. So longtime viewers may remember that we did the reading based on the elemental signs of the Zodiac. So we did, air signs, fire signs, water signs, and so on. And I wanted to do something that was a little bit more specific to each sign, but I wanted to keep that flavor of pulling in the elemental associations. So I've done it by basically using a 4-pile cut to designate each different elemental quadrant. And then from there I can just draw them in the order of the Zodiac as I wish. And all right, so here we go. We are cutting for the air signs, fire signs, water signs, and earth signs. So our first pull is for the Aries, the fire sign. And of course, pulling from the top of the deck reveals what their good vibration is. And the good vibration is the 4 of rings. That's the 4 of pentacles. It says possessive. Of course, the 4 of pentacles does sort of present that idea that's holding on to everything. But I'm thinking that it's really going to be this way. It's about letting go of the love we're trying to capture. You know, that old saying, if you love somebody, set them free. And I think that's the good vibration here, is that we're finding that whatever it is that is compelling us to hold on to certain things, we're going to start to dispense with that. Now, it is possible that it could be the other way, that maybe we're finding, Aries people, a love so strong and so powerful that we must contain and hold on to it at all cost. That would be kind of typical with Aries nature to some degree. All right, so then moving to the bad trip, pulled from the bottom of the fire elemental deck, or cut. And it's the reversed Queen of Wands, Queen of Roses it's called. And it's the Beauty Queen. So the bad trip here is that you just don't want to cross somebody with this kind of energy, but you really don't want to become somebody with that energy either. And I'm thinking this is your possibility as a bad trip, Aries, because you are a fire sign and the wands are fire signs. And the Queen of Wands reversed tends to be somebody, it doesn't have to be a woman, it could be a man, but somebody who has charismatic abilities, but maybe uses them for the wrong ways or for selfish ways, or causes problems with intrigue and things because of being manipulative, rather than working with essential networking, magnetizing, bonding, enterprising kind of goals. You are maybe not doing that so well this week, or circumstances have manipulated you to that, or maybe even very likely, of course, you're just having encounters with people who are displaying that bent, maybe not necessarily fellow Aries, but somebody who has found that way to kind of disturb you and irritate you. So now we're going to move to Taurus, the earth sign. And Taurus has the Four of Wands, which in other areas of TFT Tarot for today, this is our official party card. And it says the mansion. The Four of Roses is the Four of Wands to all intents and purposes. And it's the idea of having that harvest home, that grand place that we can go to and manifest our happiness and celebrate over our connections. The Four of Roses, I think really, the Four of Wands talks about a connectiveness, a big larger than life kind of feel. So maybe it's a springtime wedding, maybe it's a springtime gathering that is about celebrating our human lives together. Sounds wonderful. So what is the bad trip then for the Tauruses? And it's reversed Temperance. And as a bad trip, it's not very good. It may be indicating that we're going to be very emotionally volatile this week, that we're not going to be able to keep it chill for any reason. And so we're just going to have to try to get through this for the week. But it just seems like despite some good things happening, there's also this idea, I guess, that we're getting upset about something. Maybe we're feeling disincluded. You know, Tauruses, you know, they have their own sense of possessiveness feelings, and so maybe they're just feeling shirked in some ways at the big event. I don't know, it's kind of a puzzle there. All right, so then going to the air signs and Gemini. And air signs, Gemini, you have the Queen of Swords. That's your good vibration. The Queen of Swords, it says the bitch, but you know what? The Queen of Swords is just somebody who really knows how to direct and order things to the way they want. And the Queen of Swords actually may have an unhuman ability, but it's really because they're actually rising above concerns to a point of pure justice. In some level, the Queen of Swords is kind of like an avatar for the concept of the Justice card. All right, air sign Gemini, what is your bad trip? And your bad trip is the Sun reversed. It's called Paradise. The bad trip may be that not everyone's going to like these actions, and some people will actually openly try to work against that, or try to dispel the sunlight that you're bringing, or the clarity that you're bringing. You know, swords as wisdom, and then sun as illumination, but reversed. People may not find likely the light you're shining into certain quarters. And I realize I've been kind of, you know, skirting the lines here, but all of this pertains to our emotional life. So when we're deciding things about how we're proceeding with our arrangements with relationships, and maybe somebody is not exactly liking that. Maybe you're being advised to help somebody judge certain situations, and the person who has the most to lose may not be happy about that. These are just some thoughts I'm feeling there. Okay, so now we're on to Cancer, the water sign. And Cancer has a king, the king of mirrors, the king of swords, the corollary perhaps to the queen. The king of mirrors, the king of swords. Your good trip is much like the same as the previous sign, Gemini. You have a great responsibility to be fair in all your relationships, especially if it seems like there is something going on that's critical to maybe some of your closest relationships. So then the bad trip is the reversed Five of Swords, the tattletale. And I hate to say it, but the Five of Swords is, for me, that card of nobody wins, whether it's right side up or downside. There's always a nasty element about people fighting too hard, too much stress, too much conflict. And because we're talking about emotions, this could be saying that some people will really take to heart the idea that all is fair in love and war. And as King of Swords, you may be there to try to create some order there, but good luck. It looks like it's going to be a bit nasty. So now we're back to fire signs and Leo. And Leo has the Six of Rings, the Six of Pentacles, quality time. And I think for your relationships, you will want to really show exactly how strongly you feel. You will want to be able to give gifts of any sort. Maybe they're just, you know, flowers. Maybe they're just a poem you can think of to say to someone you care about. Maybe it's a ring, something more expensive. But this is a very magnanimous time for you, Leo, that you want to give and also be given to. Never forget that about Leos, I think. So then what's the bad trip? And the bad trip is the reversed Seven of Swords, Seven of Mirrors. Boy, there's a lot of swords in all these readings for the signs of the zodiac, and it mostly spells the idea of conflicts and strife and stress and little battles in our emotional life. Now, the Seven of Swords reversed is probably indicating that someone may be trying to skirt the lines with you in a certain way. I sort of see this going two ways, that maybe they're trying to create a persona to possibly fool you about what their relationship, friendship, romantic situations are. But it could also be the other way too, that maybe there's somebody who's sort of pulling back from being exactly devious, but not really being forthright. That's what I'm looking for. So this is expressing maybe situations where you, but more likely someone else in your emotional sphere, is not being forthright about certain things. And I don't suppose all the gifts in the world may loosen a tongue that has something else going on. Okay, so that was Leo. So now we're going to move to Virgo, our earth sign Virgo. And you have the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Roses, drama. And I think it's a good drama. I think the Seven of Wands says from the emotional, relationship, friendship, charismatic point of view, you are willing to say boldly where your feelings are. You're willing to enact the drama because it is really not so much that it's expected of you, but you expect that of yourself to really, you know, do what a person in love or a person with strong friendship feelings will always do. Stand up and plead their case to the one they love. Now there's a bad trip here too. And it could be that reversed Two of Rings, Two of Pentacles, the final two. It may be saying that this is a time where you may find one way or the other. Someone is moving on in relationships. Someone is changing the status quo of a relationship. Someone feels that maybe there's something else they need in a relationship and they want to move on. This could be you yourself. I'm not really sure about that. With that Seven of Wands, they're standing up. It looks to me more likely that there's going to be a sense of a dialogue with each person trying to say what exactly is up for them and maybe where that leads them to. So good luck with that, Virgo. Very good luck indeed. Okay, and then back to air signs and Libra. And the good vibration is the King of Roses, the King of Wands. And I think this is a great card just in general. It could talk specifically about your relationships. It could be talking about the idea that you're magnanimous and charismatic, and that you're interested not so much in maybe furthering a specific emotional love primary relationship, but maybe extending a field of friendship. Maybe it's a dating pool. I mean, maybe you want to be a lone agent and just sort of have casual dating with a number of people. I don't think so these days. I think it's more likely talking about a circle of friends. Okay, so that was Libra's good vibration. Now I'm on their bad trip. And it's the reverse Knight of Swords, the meathead. We never like that one here. The meathead, it's despite trying to be as magnanimous and good as possible, somebody else may be interpreting your plans as being too quick, too fast. They may be trying to get you to slow down or to alter course. It's what I think it is. I don't know if this is the possibility of the intended, or if this is maybe within that circle of friends situation where maybe someone is really an antagonist in the church, as they say. Somebody is working against you, basically trying to undermine what you're doing, either in relationships or in friendships. Maybe it's, it's a church group, it's a book club, it's somewhere maybe where they want to undermine your reputation because you're more important there, and they're trying to usurp that. I absolutely have that vibe there. So watch out, Libra. And then to the water sign Scorpio, and you have the Two of Swords upright. So in terms of relationships, Scorpios, you may be feeling like now is not necessarily the time to make big moves. Maybe you feel like there's something going on, but you just don't exactly know what it is, and you don't really want to leap into it. You're trying to be cautious. You're just trying to analyze things or sort of hold on to the foundations that you do have, the condition you have. You're kind of digging in a little bit. It's maybe about a specific relationship or in general what's going on in your overall best relationships. So your bad trip then is the Ten of Swords, but it's reversed or it's sideways. I think I feel it's sideways. The idea that there is some conflictual stuff going on that can go either way, that can end with a sunlight or could not. It could be about a breakup. Maybe the idea that was expressed in the first card, sort of holding back and not being committal, maybe will result in something bad. I was really leery about putting it one way or the other as a bad trip, so I wanted to feel that a little bit. And I think it's just one of these things where actions required, despite this being the good vibration of saying hold back, you may find that in the end, some more forceful, conclusive action is going to happen. It may not necessarily be yours, though, Scorpio. Fire sign Sagittarius. And you get the upright 10 of coins, hometowns. Sagittarians, you're exalting perhaps in situations that make you feel everything is kind of solidifying, that you're feeling foundation, you're feeling family, you're feeling a level of support around you. This is mostly emotional, but you may find that maybe things are happening in your actual environment that promote the feelings of security and friendliness and things like that. It could be for some Sagittarians that maybe there's new interest in the domicile that is shared with others, whether it's your family or your loved ones of a certain sort. Maybe we're going to be talking about things to further enhance that. Okay, Sagittarians, so obviously there's a bad trip. And it's the reversed Page of Wands. And maybe there's not enough people in that situation of the first card that are willing or able to focus that way for you. So there's a dissension, I think, in these plans. There's somebody who really doesn't exactly want to work with the relationship as is. So you may find this relationship really sort of is not exactly tethered. You may have differing feelings about what the parameters of the relationship is. And Capricorn, Earth sign. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Rings. It says, have a fun day, love. And this says, this is the week for you to not only pamper the one you care about, the ones you care about, the one you care about the most, but also maybe too to feel some of that coming back at you, that it's really about taking all of the potential of caring for the world, but putting it into the people in the world that matter the most to you. What is the bad trip? The bad trip is the Hierophant reversed. And I think the bad trip is just going to suggest maybe that not everybody will be able to understand this level of magnanimousness again and care that you're giving and love that you're giving. Some people may really feel there's something out of whack with you. They may feel like you're acting out of character, or you yourself will feel this way. Maybe you will feel that arising to this situation is really an out of character thing for you, and you may decide you just can't really do that. It's too unconventional, and you may try to sabotage yourself. Kind of weird. I'm thinking more likely it's somebody else you have to work with. So then, from Capricorn, we go to Aquarius, and Aquarius is the air sign with this as its good vibration, the Page of Pentacles, the Optimist. And I think the Page of Pentacles for Aquarians is saying there's finally, maybe after some time, some sort of click with your love life or your strong relationship life. Maybe even if it's just a particular group of people you see all the time, but something's clicking further, whatever it is, especially if it's love. I really feel that way, that there's something where it just causes you to really examine your feelings. And I don't know how many people really do that, but I'll have to say I do it too, to ponder the depths of what I love, how I love, and where that love may be going. Is expressed in this card. So then for Aquarians, the bad trip. And it's the moon reversed. Oh, shudders. The moon reversed may be indicating we are not finding out something important in romantic, emotional, friendship issues. We may be finding out that there are deceptions, or we may not be finding out about certain deceptions. I honestly could say that maybe this is really about a grand mistake on our own parts, that maybe the real strong feeling of love we're feeling is not necessarily reciprocated or not felt the same way. The person who says, I really only love you as a friend, you know, missed signals, things like that. This could be the moon. All right, going on finally now to the final sign, and it's the water sign, Pisces. And Pisces has the Knight of Pentacles, the late bloomer. Pisces too seems to be moving towards a different kind of approach to understanding their feelings about somebody specifically. But I feel like they're still charged with the idea of taking their time getting there. It may be a little bit of squeamishness, it may be caution, it may be not wanting to be hurt again, to really wait until they really know what's going on with their strong feelings. So then what's the bad trip? And it's the reversed Page of Cups. And so once again, Pisces, it's kind of similar to Aquarius. I don't know if that's because of the planetary placements being close one sign to the next, but I get the feeling here that what we may find, Pisces, is that the object of your affection or attention, or the people you're trying to elevate those friendships, they're not exactly in that position at this time. They may be responding to other people's attentions or affections. They may be not present at all. They may be really thinking about things in their life that are more important at this time other than emotional relationships. And so that's what I had for the emotional exchanges for this week. And I thank you all for coming. Don't forget to watch our shows for the rest of the week. The happy hour on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And then Banshee Show Material Matters at 10 a.m. on Sundays. And then our live stream for 2 hours from 2 to 4 p.m. Later on Sunday. So thanks, everybody. I hope you got something out of that. Bye now.